All right, let's take a look about creating some wood patterns, how to sculpt them. So the one on the left here has wood made with alphas. You see I have the same here, but that's a very simple and nice way. So if you have any brush that has alpha on it with the stroke method changed to anchored, you can just drag out that image out just like so. And that's pretty much the whole technique that was used in the one on the left there. So if I just smooth it out here, do it again, so you can see it a little bit better. And you see, and you have it. So if you have nice alphas, it's a very nice and quick way to create it. But if you wanted to sculpt it manually or adjust, then a nice way to do is to use mask lasso. So if you have your mask brush selected, you just Control-Shift, left-click, and then you can drag out a selection. And all the usual shortcuts work with, like selecting, deselecting. So I'm going to invert it. And then I'm using the grab brush to pull it out. But I see that I don't have enough polygons, so it comes out very jagged. So I will smooth it once, and then I will sharpen it again to get a bit of a softer edge. It's going to be a nicer edge. Otherwise, you can have more. Just have more polygons on the mesh, so you won't have this issue. But then, yeah, just take a grab brush and kind of pull it out, make it interesting. So, don't make it all even, like more on one side, less on the other, and pull it to the side. You're kind of really designing this edge yourself. So this would also be a method if you like sculpted this kind of stuff on a plane, and then you could use the plugin called GrabDoc in Blender to just make an alpha out of that. So you can always reuse it. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole way of doing it. You see, it's like pretty time consuming. So if you have alphas, it's actually very fast. And then, yeah. This is just, of course, a starting point. You would have to go in and clean it up a little bit. At least I have to in this case, since it's a bit low poly. I'm showing here now, if you don't use the smoothing and you don't have enough polygons, you're going to have a pretty nasty jagged edge. So be aware of that. I think if you check my polygon like faces, I really don't have that much for very specific detail, and it's a bit wonky. Maybe using Dyntopo or Dynamesh and ZBrush would be a better solution for this, or just subdivide it a bit more, because it is like the final smallest detail for what I need anyway. So I'm smoothing it out a little bit, and I'm gonna go in and try to like flatten the sides a little bit. So I'm pinching the very edges first, and then I'm gonna get this scrape brush to flatten the side face that I pulled out, so you can get a fairly clean results. Again, more polygons would make it cleaner already. So maybe this step could be skipped in the end. But then say I have this one with alphas, and you can still add details to it, because at some point everybody starts using the same alphas that are found online, and I kind of hate it that you start recognizing what people used, and especially if they don't add anything extra to it. So I use it as a starting point, and then I can add some extra details of my own to make it stand out, or to be more specific, because I don't necessarily want random detail. So I'll add this little notch, and you'll see how like it blends with the alpha sculpt fairly nicely. I'm just messing up the shortcuts here to deselect. So yeah, I'll smooth and then sharpen it a few times. There we go. So I'm still using less polygons, but this kind of helps it. a little bit to get the cleaner results. Control I to invert the whole thing, and then I'm just going to pull out one side a little bit more and then leave the other in, and then blend it in later. Because I already have the details from the sculpt, so I want to match it a little bit. So you see where I have this kind of more protruded edge. I'm gonna pull it out more, and then the rest is going to blend in. So even at this stage, I'm scraping it a little bit while with the mask on, and then I'm just gonna get rid of it. It's Alt-M to deselect everything. And then, yeah, see, it's kind of ugly on that side, so I'm going to smooth it out and scrape it. And then make sure that this is all nice. First I'm pinching, and then you can, with a grab brush, you can really make it a nice perfect shape. If the mask was, you know, a little bit wonky in the beginning. But you see, it matches the details that came from alphas fairly okay. So that's just exactly what I needed. So yeah, you can add these little elements that add a bit more interest to the mesh, and it doesn't look like you just stamped, you know, an alpha all over. Yeah, so there you go. That's a nice, quick and easy way to create stylized wood patterns. Hope you've learned something. See ya.